with the system. You're scared. They can hold your pension funds hostage a year and a half ago and steal trillions of dollars with a bailout. And they think you'll accept losing part of your pensions to, quote, keep them. All of this is being announced now. They think that when they implode society and the police stop showing up at your house, that you're going to panic and become even more domesticated and say, I'll take carbon taxes, I'll do whatever you say, just turn the economy back on. I'll accept a war with Iran, just turn the economy back on. They are holding you hostage with the border. What did Obama tell Senator Kyle? We can't fix the border and all the deaths and the kidnapping because we need that as a crisis to get amnesty, which is the North American Union, the guest worker program, the wide open system. It's all stated by the public CFR report that they admit is word for word the legislation that Bush introduced 3 times and that Obama's introduced. It's word for word the same. It's congruency between them. It just continues. And they know you're waking up, and they know there's been a realignment. And so you think about the magnitude of that, because not only is Oakland cutting cops and holding people hostage and saying we won't respond to robbery and muggings and poison. It says if you poison someone, they won't respond. And sabotaging power poles. I mean, this is insane. This is actually under the Patriot Act. But they're not going to enforce it because they want increased pay. They want increased money. They're holding you hostage. They're saying, we're not going to fix the roads. We're not going to put new police radios in. We're not going to do anything unless you capitulate and thumbprint to get guns. And they're actually increasing funding for anti-gun programs in California. I talk to people I know that live in very wealthy neighborhoods of Los Angeles and Beverly Hills. And major roads wash out a year ago. They don't fix them now. They just shut roads. They've announced in the LA Times they're not going to fix major roads and sidewalks a few months ago. The same thing is happening all over the country. Remember that story out of Ohio where they've laid off from 112 deputies to 49? And the sheriff was honest there. He said, by guns, we can't protect you. 1 deputy to respond to calls every shift. Of the other 43 or 49, they are all to work at the jail and revenue generation. So police, starting in Chicago about 100 years ago, in New York in the last 70 or so, the memos have even come out that have been in the news, and a police chief got recorded, 20-something years ago in Chicago saying, we're here to increase crime. We don't want to keep violent offenders. We want to get nonviolent, and we need some criminals out there to scare the public to thinking they need us. Notice the more cops we get, we've got 3 times, conservatively, the police nationwide we had 15 years ago. They've tripled or more. But suddenly, folks, I had my car stolen, 15 years ago in Dallas. Then it got stolen a second time. I'd go up there and visit a girlfriend. Got stolen twice from a decent area of Dallas. The police wouldn't even show up. Wouldn't even show up to her apartment when it happened. And now they're just being public about the fact that they're there for revenue generation and they're going to let society collapse. And these are coming in from Florida. These are coming in everywhere. They're saying burglary, theft, embezzlement, grand theft, extortion, embezzlement, attempted extortion, false personification of other, injure telephone or power line, interfere with power line, unauthorized cable TV connection, vandalism, so they mix petty things in, administer, expose poison to another's. Poisoning people is now okay. Do you understand? They are purposefully imploding the country.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you about the Silver Lungs generator. Now you can produce pure and endless colloidal silver and deliver the solution directly into the bloodstream by breathing the solution through the lungs. The respiratory system is the first line of defense for airborne pathogens and viruses. The Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced nano-silver solutions and also delivers the silver nanoparticles instantly into the bloodstream. With continued legislation threatening the sale of nano-silver products, you can now produce pure and endless colloidal silver with the Silver Lungs generator. Very easy to follow, step-by-step instructions are provided, making production fast and simple. Go to www.silverlungs.com today and learn more about the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. That's www.silverlungs.com.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Now, I've been telling you about the problem. How Obama admits he's allowing the border to collapse to create a crisis so he can form the SPP, the North American Union. Senator Kyle on record. How they're blocking the oil relief and not letting it be cleaned up, waiting for the hurricanes to blow it in to create a bigger crisis. Obama will be politically destroyed, but the globalists don't care. We've covered how the Financial Times of London and others are reporting Obama is in free fall and needs a staged terror attack like Oklahoma City or 9/11 to, quote, be a strong leader, to make us rally around him like a bunch of, scared children. We know all over the country, every day I see reports where they're announcing they're laying off a third, a half, or more of the police and saying the police are only allowed to revenue generate. We will not respond to robberies, to muggings, to home invasions, buy a gun. At least in Ohio and Michigan where they've announced this, they're saying buy a gun. Not in California. They're saying you're not going to have a gun. We're going to try to restrict that, and we're not going to protect you unless you accept higher taxes. They raise the taxes, and the economy implodes. They know it's going to do that. And they want to get all the parasites and all the dependents and all the little thugs that enjoy their petty power through the system and the uniforms that they animate. They want to get them all riled up and scared so that they will go along with the oppression that's coming. They are going to shut off the power. They are going to increase the water prices. They are going to drive you into submission. They've done this in the third world. It's called shock therapy. This is a stated program, 100%, and we know what they are doing. And it is treason. It is outrageous. Those police officers should walk off the force and say, we're going to protest until you say that we're going to respond to crime. Again, we have triple the cops we had 15 years ago conservatively. They're trying to expand them again with taxpayer money, and you can't get a cop when you need one most of the time in these big mega cities. A lot of towns are still decent. Austin, when I've needed the police, they've come out and been very nice and done a good job. But more and more in other areas of the country, we see where you call the police to your house because there's been a break-in and they taser and beat up an old woman on squad car video. And in this latest case, they did the right thing and fired the cops. But who are these lunatics they're hiring? We obviously need police. I know it's a tough job, but we need a smaller, lean, focused, serious force that tracks down violent offenders and keeps them in jail. I mean, now in Oakland, here's the bigger issue. What happens when the Oakland police chief announces they won't respond to burglary, theft, embezzlement, grand theft auto, grand theft dog, identity theft, extortion, attempted extortion, expose poison to another, vandalism? What is that message? I mean, it's almost like Devil's Night or something in Detroit, where all the criminals go out and burn things at once so the police can't respond. This is the police saying, we're going to take a hike. Just like New Orleans, instead the cops were tying chains to jewelry stores and pawn shops, stealing guns and jewelry and dragging safes down the road behind them and going into Walmart and kicking everybody out looting so the cops can walk out with big screen TVs. I'm not here bashing police. I know they're the good, the bad, and the ugly. They're a mix like everybody else. But they recruit slime. They recruit scum. They recruit people with low IQs. That's on record in many police departments. You can't have above an average IQ because with wisdom, most of the time comes decency and people being honorable. They want a bunch of dumb goons they can manipulate. And then if you get sick at a 9/11 rescue or you get sick cleaning up oil and you're begging for help as a cop, you're not going to get it. And once you're not a cop anymore, or once you're out of the military and the internal documents, you're the #1 enemy. You're who the NSA is watching. You're the people they hate. It's time for everyone to make a decision and decide which side do you stand for. Which side are you on? The good news is there's a huge awakening to all this. But the larger question is, what are some things we can do that are real world to counter this? And we'll talk about that after this break and have Jaron Neihart in here with an amazing story he told me this morning, something I experienced last week. Then we've got Richard Reeves coming up, Larry Pratt, and we'll have some time in the middle of the next hour to take phone calls. Please stay with us. The websites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember,